911, what's your emergency?
Hi, my name is Rashad Evans, and someone's breaking into my house right now.
Well, Mr. Evans, I loved you in the UFC, but I can get you an officer, maybe like day shift. Like, can you
No,
hold him off?
I
that
need it
long?
right now. They're breaking into my window right now. I can see them.
No. Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. Like, we just had like 7 officers resign after their shifts, like coming into this. So,
Well, send somebody else.
all right. Well, did you ever think like maybe you're coming from a place of privilege? Like,
I pay taxes. What do you mean?
I mean, yeah, some people in disadvantaged neighborhoods probably can't get a good response from 911.
They're breaking down the door right now.
I don't know what to tell you. Okay, like we don't have officers. Fend for yourself, and goodbye.
And I'm Steve.
I'm Tom.
And this is Demagogue News with things you need to know about episode 32.
33.
Episode 33 coming at you live. What's going on, Tom?
Not much. How are you doing?
Well, I'm just watching the world burn continuously like the fire's in my eyes. It's that montage video when they're looking forlornly into the fire and it reflects on their eyes and it's like, ooh, but it's the world.
I mean, it looks pretty nice outside.
Right now it's pretty, it's good. We've had great weather.
Yeah, we have. It's Las Vegas is not on fire.
And Las Vegas is not on fire
It's our
yet.
summer right now.
I know. It's actually impressive how beautiful it's been for June.
See, it's because we shut down the country, and that lack of carbon emissions—that's what did it. Greta was right. all along.
Greta Pettengerberg ish.
Oh man.
So what's first?
So I guess we'll jump right into one of the bigger stories right now. It's termed the Blue Flu. A record of number of cops in Atlanta are
They're
calling
calling
off
it the
sick.
blue flu?
Yeah, it's the Blue Flu. They're like not showing up to work. They're calling off sick.
What if they have the coronavirus, Tom?
Is that still a thing? I'm
I
sorry.
have no idea.
I'm sorry. Myself, just like the American public, has a memory span like a goldfish.
Yeah.
So yeah, Atlanta. In case you haven't listened to any of our previous episodes or like not followed the news, a man named Rashard Brooks, who was passed out in his car, drunk. The cops, talked to him for about 25 minutes. He was also violating parole at the same time.
Can't drink on parole.
Yeah.
Can't drink on parole.
and drive. So, regardless,
You can't drive drunk and
Yeah.
also be drunk on parole.
Yeah, just all those things. It's all bad formula. Scuffle ensues between himself and the officers after that, and then Mr. Brooks lost his life. So, after that, Officer Rolfe, who is the man who shot Rashard Brooks, is being charged with homicide now, and the other officer is also facing charges, unless I think he's getting a really like shady underhanded deal if he testifies against Officer Rolfe.
Oh, yeah. Be state's witness to your own police force. Nothing bad will happen to you if you snitch on the police.
Which is actually never happened in a U.S. court of law, and I don't think for Atlanta it has. And it probably isn't anyway, because I've heard like people talking about it, but Officer Brosnan's attorney has blatantly said he's not going to testify against his partner.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, the blue hold their own. They keep to their own. You can't do that.
Yeah. So with Rolfe, to be fair, yes, he did shoot Rashard Brooks, but he gave Brooks the maximum amount of tries before you shoot somebody.
And then also Richard attacked the other
Yeah,
officer.
he actually got them both to the ground, which is kind of impressive for a drunk man. I'm
right,
just saying.
and then stole a taser.
Yep.
That's a weapon
Yeah,
from
and
them,
used
and then
it.
shot it. Like, that's intent.
And right after that is when he got shot. So I'm not saying it's a good thing. Like, I'm not out here saying like, yes, Rashard Brooks deserved to die.
But yeah,
But at the same time,
it's not like he was a saint.
yeah, it's not okay. Like in this case of Breonna Taylor in Kentucky, she was in her bed asleep when she was shot by the police. That's insanely
bad.
fucked.
That's real bad.
Which is crazy that her case really hasn't gotten that much press coverage. Just saying. I think it's a little weird that Breonna
The
Taylor.
big one is that her boyfriend, which then shot at the police, he's been released from jail.
Okay, well, can you really blame him though?
Yeah, from a no-knock raid, and your house gets busted
Yeah.
in. So he just starts blasting at the people invading his home.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't blame him at all for acting in
No.
self-defense.
You shoot the police if they try to fuck with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, in the case of Rashard Brooks, though,
Not the case.
It's hard to, you know, you can't really say he was a threat to nobody, especially when Officer Brosnan received a concussion and a taser burn
from his beatdown. Yeah.
yeah, from that little altercation.
Yeah.
So that brings us up to speed on the Blue Flu. I haven't seen any stats on crimes in Atlanta. The Atlanta PD is very lucky that it didn't get out until after the fact, but it's still probably going on right now. So Mayor Bottoms of Atlanta was
Mayor Bottoms.
Yeah, it's literally her name, Bottoms. Yeah, you should legally change that.
Yeah, that's rough. Mayor Bottoms.
I mean, that's Joaquin Phoenix. I think his real original name is Bottom. Now
Phoenix is great.
Yeah, Phoenix is a great last name.
River Bottom. He would not have become the
River
next.
Bottom.
He would not have been the next Brad Pitt or the next hot star if your last name
Mainly
is
because
Bottom.
of heroin, but also
because
of
the last name. But Joaquin Bottom.
Yeah, that's.
So you got a keen bottom, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. River Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix is
okay.
great. Joaquin Phoenix. Let's go with that.
Okay. Anyway,
Mayor Bottom.
Yeah. So Mayor Bottom, she was having a press conference. She was saying, we still have it under control. Which I don't know about that.
Yeah, she was on CNN when she said that.
Yeah, she acknowledged that her police force is thinning and that.
Well, I quote, "Our streets won't be any less safe because of the number of officers who have called out."
And at the same time, I think she also mentioned that morale is down tenfold. Amongst Atlanta PD. I mean, at least she acknowledges that.
Yeah, that is kind of rough right now.
Without acknowledging why that morale was down, but regardless, she also called upon Atlanta PD to fulfill the oath that you made to the people, which to me is probably like one of the weakest incentives you can give somebody.
I guess I don't know if it's universal, like the police oath, but I thought it's to defend the Constitution.
It's like defend like people if they're like, I think Constitution's in there.
Yeah.
Regardless, there's not really any positive incentive. Like she never gives them any compliments or like acknowledges like the work that they do. It's just kind of
no. If she compliments the police, they'll burn down her house.
So
she's got to maintain that police are bad, but also the police will help you. Except that no one's working to help you.
Oh
boy! Oh no! Rocking a hard place, basically.
Yeah, it is. And this this is all very politicized as well.
Oh yeah.
So speaking of politicization, the Attorney General there.
Yeah, what was that?
So he's up for re-election.
Or is it the Attorney General or the DA?
It might be the DA.
I believe it's the DA.
Yeah. So the district attorney. He's up for re-election, and he's blatantly calling it homicide and whatnot. This guy, by the way, this district attorney is under investigation for embezzling $140,000 from a nonprofit.
Don't focus on me.
Yeah,
it's Garrett. That's his name.
Garrett.
Garrett.
Yeah,
he's a bad man with no chance. He's the one. Don't look at me.
Yeah, that's really what it is, and it's like he's definitely trying to sway like the black vote, which is oddly reminiscent of Mark Nifong in the Durham, the Duke lacrosse case.
Yeah,
like he took that on like mainly to sway the black vote to get reelected.
There you go. Yeah, which went well. I mean, the Duke lacrosse case that was.
Oh yeah, he only
trumped up.
He only got disbarred afterwards.
That's a small thing.
Yeah, he like for the.
You can be the district attorney and then still be disbarred.
Yeah, he got disbarred.
And then you become the district attorney.
Well, no. I'm talking like Mark Nifong. That's
Mark Nifong. No, yeah, it's similarities.
Totally different. Yeah, I'm just saying the cases mirror one another.
Right, and then the fact that he got fucked out of everything legal by being disbarred. Yeah, not great.
So we're definitely going to. I haven't seen any cases for the blue flu, in Nevada.
Anywhere else, really? No.
Which hopefully not. But I'm just saying, in any place where there's been like mass riots, okay, like because we actually have data from the ones years back, like with Mike Brown in Ferguson or
Baltimore.
in Baltimore. Yeah, those both saw like high spikes in crime after the police force, like the police presence was diminished.
Funny enough, but hey, there is a shining silver lining. The Atlanta Police Foundation is giving a $500 bonus to each Atlanta Police Department officer today.
Okay.
And they will provide meals, and also repairing more than 20 patrol cars destroyed in the recent riots.
Ooh, man.
But hey, $500
I mean, $500 is nice.
once.
Again, I'm saying it's nice, but okay, your salary if you're in Atlanta PD is probably in the ballpark of $80K, and
So we'll give you 2 days of work,
yeah,
PTO.
PTO, and you still have a high probability of getting injured or killed on the job.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's gonna come with a sign like you cannot quit.
Yeah,
If you accept this bonus, that means you can't quit for the next 2 months. No
Yeah.
quitting for 2 months.
Under contract.
Sign the contract. Yeah, and apparently also Garrett has turned himself in as of an hour ago.
Oh wow.
So because he had to voluntarily turn himself in, that was the arrangement. So it's probably just to keep himself safe because they're gonna put him in
Yeah.
solitary.
I mean, it's a good idea anyway for him to do that. Just
Yeah,
'cause
just follow policy and let the lawyer figure it out.
you don't want to be a fugitive in this situation. And,
No.
like, I feel kind of bad because it's like a scenario that it's really not hit. Like, was he the one drunk driving?
Yeah, was he doing his job? Well,
Yeah.
I think that the why all these Atlanta PD are protesting is like, oh, he was doing his job, like what seems to be to the T. Yeah, there's extraneous circumstances, and he's gonna get fucked for it. Why am I working?
Yeah.
Not only does everybody hate me, everybody hates me now. And if you don't, you're not allowed to say it. My job is harder and more dangerous, and if I do anything that might be construed as wrong, not only fired, arrested.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
The stakes are just too high.
Mistakes are too high. So yeah, that's Atlanta right now. It's yeah. That's gonna be fucked. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Good luck on that, Atlanta. And it is a very serious situation. But I would like to flip to the other coast real quick for something that I just find kind of funny, which is Chop, formerly known as Chaz, which I'm still not a fan of that name. I think
Chaz is so much better.
Chaz is way better, dude.
Yeah.
So there's I actually didn't know this. You can get a YouTube a live feed of one of the intersections in Chaz.
Oh yeah. They've been setting
24
them up
hours.
everywhere. Yeah.
I mean, as long as you got the publicity, I guess.
It's hilarious.
So they're still occupying the space until their demands are met. I've heard a lot of the protesters say in interviews that the goal is not to secede from the United States, but to prove a point.
Well, that's quite the point. Yeah.
Yeah. So the culinary scene on Chop, I'm curious about the day-to-day activities, operations of the Capitol Hill organized protest.
Yeah. Well, there's probably some restaurants in there. There's
Yeah.
there's gotta be 5 coffee shops in that area at Seattle.
I don't know if the coffee shops are open. I was because there was a catering business out there. I think it's called Feed the Movement. I want to say
Okay.
is what it's been renamed.
Naturalized for the country of Chop. Of course.
Chop is also funny enough. There's a restaurant that was founded there called Riot Kitchen, and they've since stopped.
That's real fucking accurate right there.
They've stopped operations because they got robbed. It was worded as something like home insecurities. I'm like, okay, this is
That
bullshit.
is-
You got robbed.
Yeah, you got fucked right there. Maybe the top man. The Riot Kitchen running Chop, that would have been so perfect.
If only.
If only they weren't robbed by the peaceful protesters.
Hey, they're peaceful. Okay.
They're peaceful. Yeah.
So one of the problems that Chop is kind of running into is that they're very much on a commune kind of system where nobody pays for anything.
Oh, great.
That being said, so all the food that's out there is
Open for everybody.
Yeah, it's for the
Yeah.
community. Therefore, they run out of food rather rapidly. So we'll just call it the country of Chop for shits and gigs. Relies very, very, very heavily on foreign aid, as in there are other very liberal businesses that have been donating things like roast beef or I saw.
Roast beef.
Yeah, right. I was like, ooh, that's
Ew.
not
That's not
vegan.
vegan.
Yeah, another guy, he was
They should be canceled.
he was donating Puerto Rican food, which Puerto Rican food is very carby and meaty. And I'm like, I guess they're sacrificing the whole meat-free thing
Yeah.
in Chaz. But it's mainly off of
But if they didn't eat it, it'd be racist.
Oh, you're
That's
right. You
right.
get that.
So what's worse?
Ooh boy.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm actually celebrating a culture, so
Yeah.
fuck off. It's
Or are you culturally appropriating it by eating it?
oh, see,
I don't know.
in the world of Chop, it turns into an endless.
Just eat some dirt. Just eat dirt.
Yeah. The garden's obviously still trying to grow stuff because
Yeah.
it's been like not that long, but also so most of what they're handing out is like non-perishables. So
Canned goods and stuff. That's
yeah.
good. Yeah.
like one of the protesters was, he said, "I'm all about the cause, but I'm kind of sick of eating Cliff Bars every day."
Eating a can of beans. Get your
That's
beans.
you've climbed, Steve. You know what a dirt bagger is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, to anyone who's not familiar with rock climbing, a dirt bagger is somebody who literally dedicates their life to rock climbing. They just survive on whatever, like a shoestring budget, and there's form of sustenance. Most of it is Cliff Bars,
Right.
Like,
Whatever bullshit they can find. Yeah. Ew. That sound sucks.
yeah. Also, a lot of the pictures that I saw inside of Chop, like one of the restaurants, it has like a pig with X's eyes on it and like a cop hat. This is like death to pigs. I'm like,
Nice.
that's
That,
pretty.
is that like an
peaceful."
actual like sign on the restaurant because
They spray painted it
Oh,
on it.
they spray painted.
Yeah. Apparently, Raz hasn't been in power for a couple days now because he hasn't been enforcing the no spray paint deal.
Ah, terrible. Terrible.
Yeah. Things were better when Raz was there. I
You
remember.
know what? It was better when the Raz was around. Now it's just chaos. But I think the most fantastic thing is that vigilantism is coming into the fold in the nation of Chop.
Ooh.
Phoenix Jones.
Oh.
Phoenix Jones is a superhero vigilante who has come out of retirement to enforce peace and safety into the nation of Chop. And I think that's one of the greatest things is now people are dressing up as superheroes to be the good guys to save the city of Chop.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. I think there's nothing more to say on that one. It's just like, that's fantastic.
How's Phoenix doing though?
I don't know. He hasn't died yet.
Okay, that's a plus.
So I mean, they haven't murdered him because I don't know if he's does the Batman thing, like the no guns.
No, he doesn't use guns.
Then,
Like,
yeah,
I remember hearing about him like years ago.
yeah, same.
He's pretty much like just a guy in a costume, like cleaning up litter and shit.
That's good. But he's out there to stop crimes and put people in danger, medical calls, and the theft of personal property. So he's become a government official. Like, I guess he's a government employee.
I mean,
For the police, right? He's the cops and the EMTs, and
you do end up reinventing the wheel when you try to start your own country. I'm just saying.
he also witnessed the knife fight in the park. I don't know if he did anything about it. but
Witnessed.
He witnessed it.
What kind of an enforcer is that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh man.
But Chop seems to be going real steady. The nation of Chop seems to be doing great. I'm sure they will make a fantastic, city-state in the nation of Seattle.
I mean, vote them into the UN, man. But I just like to end with Chop on like some of the signs, absolutely hilarious. Like it's like almost like caricatures of far left thinking that are just up there. Like outside of one of the gardens, it said this garden is for
Black and indigenous
Yes, you
peoples
saw it.
only. Yes.
and plant allies and their plant allies.
the plant allies. Everyone knows Basil is a Democrat through and through. But Rosemary, he's a racist Nazi.
Yeah.
Got to vote for the Basil.
Yeah, just like libraries putting out like social justice, like basically pamphlets, but literature. While they have tea and coffee there, which is kind of nice.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. So we will definitely keep you posted on any dicey news that comes out of Chop.
Yeah. I think that the more interesting thing is that now the attacks on police have gotten chemical.
Really?
Yeah, so and of course, luckily, it panned out to not be it, but cops been finding, like, in Alhambra in California, they found razor blades in their, like, they had, like, having, like, a salad or, like, it looked like, when you get Mexican food and all mixes up, the beans and the rice.
Yeah.
They found razor blades in there.
Yeah, that's disturbing.
That's terrible. And then a Shake Shack in New York, or Steak and Shake. Shake Shack.
Shake Shack.
Yeah, Shake Shack. They believe there was bleach in their milkshakes that they bought. It was terrible.
Yeah, that's even if unfounded. Like, clean your fucking machine.
Yeah, like supposedly it came out that they didn't clean their machines, and that's where the taste was off. But at this point now, the police are fearing that their food may be tampered with,
Yeah.
that they're trying to
That's-
be taken out by what they eat.
I think it was also like there's businesses. I can't remember which city it was. It was somewhere in like at least the West Coast where the businesses were being shamed for allowing cops to use the bathroom.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. My guy needs to take a piss for a second. And no, you can't take it. You can't
Mm-mm.
come here.
No.
So why is that cop still working then? I'm just gonna piss outside and give myself
Yeah,
a ticket
Like so.
for indecent exposure.
So let me get this straight. If I wear this uniform, everybody hates me. Sounds terrible.
Can't do my job. If I try to do my job, people might attack me while I'm doing it. Like if I pull somebody over, they might come at me because if the person is Hispanic who was going 50 and a 25, and I'm giving them a ticket, and they might attack me.
Yeah.
Why am I working? Why am I working? Jesus.
Yeah, that is, and it's a shame too because it is still a minority of people. Taking it back to like the Seattle area for a minute, around because a lot of the coverage of CHOP was, if you watched it, Fox News, it was a war zone. If you watched CNN, it was like a paradise. So I watched a little bit of a local Seattle station, and they did a survey of about 700 Seattle residents, and well over half of them had an either entirely positive or positive experience with the police force there, as opposed to a combined 18% negative or entirely negative interaction.
Well, where was it? It was in New Jersey. There was that talk. He was speaking for the police. I think it was in New Jersey. It was a video about the fact that it's 99.9% of the time cops are perfect in their way they do things, and this 0.1% of people that might be shitty cops or might be not even in my state, and you're gonna attack all of them at all times.
Yeah.
You get a little too preachy, like I demand respect. Like, no, you earn respect, but also it's not everybody.
Yeah, I mean, there are asshole cops.
Like how we don't judge every single Muslim for the fact that it was Muslims that destroyed Twin Towers.
If you believe the
9/11.
narrative, yes.
So we accuse every single cop.
Yeah, that's a
Where we draw this line of defining what we hate and don't hate.
there is no line.
No,
it's all or nothing.
It's all
apparently.
terrible. All or nothing. It's wild. But the police, or at least our government, did a pretty good job for one certain woman. I believe it was in Minnesota. It was on video of a woman with a Molotov cocktail throwing it into a cop car, and it was caught on video. She was all covered up. Her identity was closely guarded secret. Well, this woman was wearing a custom shirt from Etsy, and the FBI was able to backtrack it from purchases to find out who she was, and now she faces possibly 80 years in jail for 2 felony counts of something terrible. Vandalizing a cop car?
Plus,
I
it's
don't
like vandalizing government property, which is like a big no-no. So,
Yeah.
destruction of government property. So, honestly, that's like the feel-good story of the week to me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
the police are still doing their job, and you cannot burn down shit because your mask is on.
yeah, people get real brave when they're
Philadelphia
anonymous.
is where it was at.
Philly, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Laura Elizabeth Blumenthal.
Oh, and her name's out there too.
Yes.
Ooh,
2 counts of felony
Lord.
arson for burning down 2 Philadelphia police cars on May 30th. So just because it's been 2 weeks doesn't mean you're off the fucking hook. Because this is, I mean, you can see this picture right here. This is damning to say the least. Oh, come on, what's that picture? It's right there. It's literally, it's a picture perfect. The Molotov cocktail alight as she's tossing it on a backhand throw. And, maybe wear black shirts.
Yeah, maybe don't wear things that only you have.
A perfectly unique custom product. You're going to wear your J's? Wear some black Vans.
Yeah.
How about some nondescript running shoes, some black jeans, and a black shirt?
Yeah, buy some New Balance. I don't know.
Yeah. That might be helpful. That was some pretty wild shit.
Yeah.
What else is happening, Tom?
So, this is like time travel back to when things were good for Demagogue News. Do you remember impeachment when they were talking about bringing up Johnny John Bolton?
John Bolton.
Yeah, and then he didn't show up on the stand, and then Trump walked away without any indictment. Well, He is back, and let me tell you, he's better than ever because he's got a sweet book coming out on the 23rd
With that sweet mustache.
with that Lorax
That
mustache.
Lorax life.
Talking about essentially from he had an interview with ABC, and he's saying that Trump says stupid things, acts impulsively, not fit to be in office. Which those are like says stupid shit and acts
Those are
impulsively.
pretty common sentiments, anyways.
Yeah, I don't
think it's anything new.
I don't think if you know President Trump, you know that he that describes him to a T. Regardless, a lot of what he tried to level, because he says that, oh yeah, if they would have had me on the stand, they could have impeached him. It's like, well, why didn't you?
Why didn't you volunteer to be a witness instead of getting Adam Schiff up there, who then says, "Oh, I heard it from somebody else, and I didn't realize it. Actually, I wasn't even there, and I assume someone has that information." You could have been like, "Oh, I got something.
Yeah.
Raising my hand. Pick me, teacher."
Maybe he was too busy writing his book. I don't know.
It was probably really involved. Yeah.
So he's also said that Trump makes every decision based on getting reelected, which I don't know if you followed like U.S. politics at all, specifically presidential, first-term presidents. But that's pretty much how they act. Is
every
re-election.
single anyone elected into anything ever. The first half is do stuff, 100 days. The second half is make sure you still have a job.
Yeah,
That's
legit.
anyone elected ever.
So one of the reasons that he gives is that Trump is talking to foreign dignitaries. One of them being like the Kim Jong-un like photo op.
Yeah.
At the demilitarized zone, which honestly I think that was like a high point in President Trump's career personally.
The first president to do that since the
Ever?
Korean War happened. I mean, there's a wonderful picture of Obama behind bulletproof glass at the DMZ, like he's about to be shot, pointing and looking and doing things. But nah, Trump just like big dick walks over and says, "Yo, handshake, what's going on?" Biggest olive branch of diplomacy that's ever happened in the history of North Korea, South Korea.
Like in the nuclear age, like that's a huge step.
It's kind of a big thing, trust me.
It's the biggest thing we've ever seen.
Frankly, I'm the greatest.
So going off of that,
what do you have about Zelensky? Did he have anything in there about Ukrainian president?
Not that I've heard.
What about Burisma?
Weirdly enough, nothing there. But funny that you mentioned that part of the world, because I remember when Obama blatantly told Dmitry Medvedev, who was the acting president
of Russia,
tell Putin I just need some time. I gotta get reelected first. I'm like, if that isn't like blatant, it's like
don't do anything political until I can make sure I have a job, and then we'll come back to it later.
That seems like you're acting in the interest of your reelection. I don't know.
Weird.
But regardless, Trump, I think another excerpt was that he was talking to Xi Jinping, the chairman of the Chinese Communist Party, about trying to implore him to like, hey, we could work out a deal so long as I get reelected. If you could just import like, soybeans and crops from like the U.S. heartland, because I need those places to win. And I think in that he supposedly said that he was cool with, concentration camps for Uyghurs, which
it's not the greatest.
and that's definitely not like that is.
Yeah, but no one gives a fuck about those people, which is really a massive
now they
problem.
do. Now they do because it helps them paint Trump as a really bad, awful man. Like which anybody listening who doesn't know who the Uyghurs are, they live in the Xinjiang province in far west China.
Yeah, northwestish. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't look Chinese. They're Muslims. The Chinese hate them. And
I hate them a lot.
supposedly harvest their organs. They do a lot of really shitty things to the Uyghurs.
And by concentration camps, the Chinese call it re-education places where they can teach them. Where I believe it's 3 million Uyghurs are involuntarily imprisoned in these camps in China.
And that's there's 45 million Uyghurs who live in Xinjiang. That's a lot of their population.
Almost 10% are incarcerated.
Yeah, if that doesn't say something, I don't know what does.
Yeah, the Chinese fucking hate Muslims.
Oh, they do. They hate them.
They hate Muslims, and Trump's trying to play, Trump's trying to be diplomatic.
Yeah,
how
weird.
strange. Give me this, I'll give you that. We'll figure it out. Maybe they'll lessen the tariffs. You do your thing with them. It's your fucking country. Meh.
So here's where I think that's kind of shitty, though. ABC News, they're owned by Disney. could you imagine? Okay, like what if you try to like counter question it? Like, okay, do you think that the Uyghurs should have their own state? Then you get them in a conflict of interest because they cater to the Chinese.
Right. God forbid somebody in the NBA,
Oh Lord.
says a couple bad things, which is basically all ESPN, which who owns ESPN? Disney. And Disney probably makes a lot of money in China.
Tons.
Crap tons, just like an incredible
The
amount.
Chinese love the NBA.
Tremendous amount. Yeah, the Chinese love basketball. They love sports. Chinese are people. They like sports too.
But not if you support Hong Kong.
It's terrible.
So the same goes for the Uyghurs or Taiwan, what have you.
Or anybody that doesn't fall in line.
Yeah, so that's another like funny little tidbit. So supposedly the Trump administration might press charges against John Bolton for disclosing classified information. Whether or not there is classified info in that book remains to be seen.
But you can buy it right now, can't you? Isn't it published?
23rd.
Oh, so in
5 days.
5 days.
In 5 days it will be out.
Great. We'll see how that goes on.
Yeah, we might even give you the first Demagogue News book review. So you never
Hey.
know.
Right? Yeah, but speaking of China, I believe that China has just started up quarantine again.
Oh, I thought they had no new cases. What the shit?
Well, right here, terrible news site. Beijing expands quarantine zone as coronavirus cases mount. They've closed down Beijing again.
Oh man.
21 neighborhoods to prevent the spread of the novel coronavirus. Remember we used to call it that?
Yeah, that was funny actually.
nCoV, novel coronavirus, for the 100 people sick in the Chinese capital. Apparently from a seafood market. Some salmon. Bad salmon, apparently. And, yeah, they're closing down Beijing again. Weird. I thought it was hunky-dory in the, the land of Chinatown.
So that means that every single international power ranking I have said on this channel is false.
Weird. The Chinese weren't giving us the correct information. God damn it. I can't believe this.
Yeah,
I trusted them with all my heart.
We're so shocked right
I'm
now.
so shocked.
If you could be in the same room as us, we are agape, aghast. Oh
Yeah.
man, that's funny. Yeah, but novel coronavirus supposedly, okay, like there's a bunch of flare-ups in the U.S. Not due to protesting, of course, but
Oh God, no!
There's-
It's because it's the white people that want to open up their businesses.
it's the reopening.
That's what's bad.
Actually, thank you for mentioning businesses because Trump actually had a small business press conference today,
Oh, did he?
which I watched, and it was mainly like catering to like Nebraska and Oklahoma, which was kind of weird. Like both of those governors.
He's already got those states.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oklahoma
say, like, what?
didn't have a single county that wasn't red.
Yeah.
He blew Oklahoma out of the fucking water.
So he had the governors of each of those states in the White House with him, as well as some small business owners from each state. But he was talking about like the PPP, and one of the stats that he threw out: 42% of black-owned businesses closed like during COVID. 42%. So if you want to tell me that,
So half, pretty much half.
but it's only the privileged white people who want to reopen.
Yeah, because almost half of all black businesses, they don't want to reopen.
Yeah,
They
right?
don't want to
Like,
be able to support their families and their employees and make money, engage in commerce.
No,
No.
it's
Nah.
yeah. That's where the narrative just gets screwy all the time. It's just like you have to keep like retconning stuff and changing it. It's like watching like a really bad version of Game of Thrones. Like,
Yeah, but like the plot holes keep getting left out. Then like, oh, remember what happened in season 2? This guy's back. Hey, what happened to him? We're not gonna tell you what happened, but he's here again to do what he was doing before. Hey,
like remember COVID, guys? Like,
remember
that's-
Murder Hornets?
Oh yeah,
That's
that
gonna
was-
come up again one of these days.
that was a
Somebody's gonna
meme.
die from it, and that's gonna be like a 4-day thing. They're gonna blood everywhere. Beware of bumblebees. But don't worry about whatever legislation's happening with the Democrats over here, because it's murder hornets. Hey, murder hornets! Ooh. Man-eating crocodiles in Florida.
Oh man.
Well, alligators, excuse me, not
Yeah, I'm sorry.
crocodiles.
Who even cares anymore? They could be like griffins for like for all I know.
We found.
Like this thing swoops down, like snatches a small child out of their kayak.
Birds aren't real, Tom.
Wake up, people!
Wake up. The quarantine was for them to put all new batteries in all the birds, because birds aren't real. That's a massive UAV from a black site in the CIA, and that child was the son of a spy who went rogue. That's what happened. Wake up, Tom. Wake up.
Yeah. I'm not the right kind of woke, I guess.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. So, the things that have yet to be seen, we were talking about President Trump, re-election and whatnot. One of the weird ways that he's trying to get reelected is he's been all bark and no bite on the whole blue flu thing. Like, he's been tweeting out Law and Order and shit, but he hasn't done anything yet.
Well, I mean, so he has done something, and
What'd
that's
he
one thing I
do?
wanted to pull up. He did sign an executive order to reform police brutality in the United States.
Okay.
That
What
happened,
did that entail?
It happened on Tuesday. Increases incentives for departments to improve their practices and aimed at tracking misconduct by law enforcers. So I think he's created a new internal affairs
Okay.
or made different practices.
I mean, that's good. Like, I certainly don't want police brutality, but what is he doing for existing cops right now?
I mean, in all things, which is the hilarious inconsistency and why I think this whole protest is stupid, is that government's slow as shit.
It is.
All this stuff happened yesterday with Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's only been like 12 hours. Like, you can't do everything.
Okay. That was a good devil's advocate right there. I'll give it to
Also,
ya.
there might be a war brewing between China and India.
And we won't get involved. We're nice guys.
Because the United States never gets involved with other countries' problems.
Like, between China and India, though, like, are we really... We are between
I
a
think
rock and
20
a hard
people
place.
died at the border.
Yeah,
It was a
uh-huh.
border skirmish.
There's like Kashmir.
Yeah. That Kashmir
Kashmir's
province.
always.
There's always problems happening in the Kashmir province in northern India, southern China.
So we'll keep you posted on
We'll
that
get back to that once stuff happens.
The two most populous nations, both of whom have nukes, and both of whom have some sort of tie to the United States.
And have never liked each other. Because
never.
it's like with Alsace, France. Alsace-Lorraine. There's
Yeah.
always some problem. Who owns it? Who decides the Kurds? Who owns Kurdistan? Who Guys, it's just ground. It's not. It doesn't have oil. It's not like
People are attached to that shit, man. Like, you would be surprised. Like, I think I was talking to some Israeli guests when I was like working at the Paris as a bellhop, and I was like, they were talking about rockets being launched in their neighborhood and stuff. I'm like, why don't you just leave? And he's like, it's the homeland.
it sucks there,
Yeah,
bro.
it's like, you live in a strike zone.
It's shit all the time. Like, I get it. Like, people in Gaza can't leave because it's difficult to get in and
Oh
out.
yeah,
Because
that's
that's been like a whole lockdown of an area for the past 15 years. But you can just go.
yeah.
Like, when it talks about like all these refugees are leaving Syria because it sucks in Syria right now. Let's go somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty understandable.
Yeah, that makes sense. Get the fuck out of there. But it's not like there's like piles of gold underneath the ground. You don't have oil.
Yeah, if you have oil, oh, you will fight for that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Fight for that shit because we want to become a hillbilly billionaire. What was the show?
Yeah, Beverly Hills.
Beverly
Hillbillies.
Hills, Beverly Hillbillies. That'd be great.
I mean, look
Find
at
some
the
Texas
United
tea.
Arab Emirates. They found oil in the 60s, and now it's one of the wealthiest places in the world.
It was a shit pile forever until it was like, oh, we had the most valuable product in the world, money. But you don't have that, people.
No.
Why were you there?
Hey, in Kashmir, you
Yeah.
have these really cool scarves, really nice fabric.
Yeah.
Kashmir.
Cashmere doesn't come from Kashmir though.
Hey, shh.
Is that what you're exporting?
Yeah.
You think you have cashmere? You Kashmiri people? No, go somewhere else. Fuck it. Go just fuck.
Just something, man. Yeah.
Something, man. Or just like be like, hey, we're Chinese now. How about that? Just leave us alone. Or we're Indians.
Well, I mean, I definitely the implication of that is once you're under Chinese control, you see what's going on with the Uyghurs. You certainly don't want that happening.
Yeah, but
to
they're
you.
probably Hindis.
Yeah, Chinese don't like religious people, Steven. They just don't like anybody who has a god because that puts the god above the state.
Yeah, because Xi Jinping is God. Yeah,
He
that's
is.
true. That is fair.
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie
the
Yeah, there's a lot of shit happening. Trump, let's not get World War III over in South Asia. Let's, but also don't let your house burn down while you're trying to save someone else's house.
Yeah.
Trump,
Yeah.
don't let your house burn down.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Trump-
don't want World War 1812 again. Don't let the White House burn down.
Keep it domestic. I'm just
Yeah.
saying we have our own problems right here in the U.S. of A.
They're pretty rough right now. Do something about it.
Oh my God. We will keep you posted on any of that, and
Yeah. Keep your head in a swivel.